Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Blast from the Past. Not doing any reviews today. I don't know if I like this background song. I'm gonna change it. I mean,
I
it's
was
not a
thinking
bad
I
song.
liked it.
You like it?
Yeah, just turn it down a
Okay.
little bit.
All right, yeah, that it is a bit loud. Let's see.
There we go.
There we go.
Just got a little bit of keyboards going and stuff, you know?
Yeah, this is the same song Ords plays for our Sunday show. Typically. That's if he remembers to hit play on it, because he boomers things pretty often. But yeah, how are you doing, Megan?
Good.
Yeah.
I was complaining to poor Steven about my hair because I'm a girl. And it was down, and then it was half up, and then it was up, and, you know, stuff like that.
I used to have those problems, not so much anymore. I just got the warrior's wolf tail. It is not a ponytail. Yep. Let's all the other warriors know you're fun and perky. I always loved that line from what's that? Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Wow.
Yeah.
I liked that show. It was a good show.
Oh, it's a great show. Love that show.
I know it's not like real anime, but that's one of the first. That is the first anime. I don't know if we can actually consider it anime, but sorry.
It's kind of right on the fence. Like, I like to think about it as an anime, but It is kind of on the fence because it's Western storytelling with Eastern animation and a lot of Eastern influence. From what I understand, most people in Japan who are big, like otaku or anime fans, they quite like Avatar. So,
there you go.
I think you can.
Then it's acceptable.
And I think, like most anime, they have Koreans animating it, so, like, doing the actual drawing. And I do also believe that was mostly hand-drawn. One of the last shows to be fully, properly hand-drawn. Oh, I think you surprised Phil here. Wait, Megan has seen the Last Airbender cartoon? And then, yes, with 500,000 exclamation marks. Yeah, Last Airbender's great. Love that show.
Zuko's like my favorite character.
Zuko has the best story arc.
He does. The best story arc, character growth of any other character in the show. Plus, he's kind of got like that bad boy vibe, so, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the ladies love the bad boy vibe. Yep.
Except he's not like, he ends up not being a toxic bad boy at the end, so, like, it's a plus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Then you see him a little bit in what I do think was actually a much lesser show, the follow-up, Legend of Korra, which I enjoyed.
I saved it in my list, but I haven't actually seen
it. You can go without seeing it, honestly. I still think it's a good show, but it's not, the writing isn't as strong as The Last Airbender. It just isn't.
I believe it.
I will say, though, the fight animation's really good. The spectacle of the show is solid. The writing's a little bit weak, though.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, you need strong writing. But...
You do. Small Time Republic, thank you for joining us. Yes, she was. Thank you for recognizing it. Let's say hi to everyone out there. Phil the Keyblade Master, now rebranded.
All right, Phil.
With a classic, hello there. Let's see. Oh, yes, your Bommy saw this earlier. Having a a Warhammer 3 tourney. We'll catch the stream over weekend. Thank you, your Bommy.
Thanks, your Bommy.
Yeah, good luck with that tournament.
Have fun.
Excuse me. I believe that's the video game version of Warhammer. I don't know. I don't know about Warhammer. It's just never got into it. And a Tommy in the Guinea Pig Collective. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you. Lots of squeaks and nibbled toes with the Pig World Order. And Robert Lowry, thank you for joining us. And you. Thanks for joining us. And me. I'll thank me. I don't think enough people thank themselves often enough, so I'll be the first to start. Thank me.
word.
I'll agree with Phil on this. Korra was good. Airbender is better. Let's see. Crossing the multiverse. The Philverse is taking over. Good luck, Phil. Your Philverse will be crushed.
Oh boy.
I will burn your houses down and salt the land. Bring it on, Phil. And to Paul. How's it going, Paul?
Oh.
With an hola. And Duck Dangerously.
What's up?
I thank me real hard. Look, I'll play some Q Lazarus and we can go full on with this. Don't test me, Robert. Don't test me. I will do it. I don't care about ever getting monetized here. You test me. Don't test me on this. Philverse involves Ewok, hot dogs, cyborgs.
Probably.
It probably does, yeah. That's accurate. It's
very accurate.
Lurking and playing some
I'm
Hogwarts.
so jealous. Everybody's playing Hogwarts. Blah. I'm okay. It's fine.
I might be playing Hogwarts Legacy as well. I got it 3 days early because I paid the extra $10 for the deluxe edition, and yeah, so I've had it for like a week now.
Whatever.
It's.
I feel like I'm the only person in the world who doesn't have it yet. Actually, I think Tugs doesn't have it because she only has a PS4 like me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I only have a PS4, and that's coming out for PS4 in April, and the Switch is like July. Which, let's be honest, this is a great money-making scheme. People are either going to be so excited and want to play Hogwarts Legacy that they're going to go get a gaming console that they don't have, and then they're going to get it for their other gaming console, like the Switch. Like, people are going to get it for PC or the PS5 for whatever, and then they're going to get it for their Switch, because the Switch is such a, like, convenient game console. So they're going to make double money, I'm pretty sure.
I do know that part of the reason that things get pushed behind for Switch specifically, and it may be the case with PS4, is that the system that they have to use to actually like code the game and transfer it to work on the Switch does actually take a good amount of time and effort to get it to work. So it's probably one of those things of like they could have done a simultaneous release, but they would have had to have pushed back their PC release for probably at least a few months.
Gotcha.
And I know that some publishers also don't like doing it because you have to release separate, like you have to work on separate patches. So if you have an issue with it on PC and Switch, like you have to pick which one you're going to fix first.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So they can fix glitches and then like just keep releasing and fixing, and that makes sense. Still, it's going to end up being a good money-making scheme too.
Oh yeah. Especially since Nintendo's kind of big on just like charging full price. Like they're still making people pay $60 for Skyrim.
Yep.
The game came out in 2011.
I got Skyrim for like, it was used and it cost me $50.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I enjoyed Skyrim. The 1,200 hours I've put into it so far. Not an exaggeration. Yeah. I have an ongoing character I've been playing that is very lightly modded. Like I don't like using a bunch of mods for Skyrim, even though it's super easy to do. That my goal is to try and get as close as I can to 100%ing the game with this character, of like doing all of the mainline quests, maybe not all of the side quests, that's a bit much. But all of the mainline quests, I'm already like the Thane, which is like the highest rank you can get for all of the different like trying to remember holds, I think is what they call them, basically cities. Yeah, I own all of the houses already. I've done the main storyline and a few about half of the other major quest lines, so I'm getting there. You know, maybe in another 500 hours I'll have that character 100%ed. Which isn't necessary for playing the game, by the way. Just play it and have fun. Just that's not the point of the game. It's to just run around and get into hijinks.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing with Breath of the Wild, because like there's like all the main quests, and then there's like side quests, and then there's like these other mini side quest thingies like that aren't really gonna forward the storyline, but it's like this little character is Like you need to collect so many crickets or whatever for them, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, catching crickets and
yeah, and I just like some of those I've worked on because I'm like, oh, I have all these things that they need anyway, so I'll just finish it up. But for the most part, I'm like, I don't care. I do want to get to all of the shrines though. I haven't gone through all the shrines.
It's the getting all the shrines isn't too bad. I did that on my first playthrough of the game. There's like 120 of them. Most of them are pretty fun. So yeah, that's definitely doable. I don't think I've gotten like all of the armor in Breath of the Wild, but I got the important stuff that I needed to actually beat the game. Which actually good segue, because I don't think I explained the purpose of this stream to everyone yet. Yeah,
hey guys, we're talking about games.
It's in the title, but it's gaming for noobs. What games you think or we think would be good for people who are new to the video game genre, to kind of prime them into playing other games. And Breath of the Wild was the first one I pulled up, partially because I know you've played it a bit, but I do think it's just a great game for noobs.
It is, because it's like open world. You have all these, like I said, they have that big main quest where you can go follow, or there are all the little tiny quests and the mini quests, whatever, right? All the shrines, everything like that. So you can really take your time. You can go anywhere. You can start this and then leave it and do something else. I don't know. It's like there's a lot of freedom and flexibility within this game. And this is the game like I really learned to game on. I think it's the first one I ever played, and then I dabbled in like Mario Kart and Super Mario Smash Brothers or something. But I think Breath of the Wild is always gonna like hold a place in my heart because it was like literally the first game I ever really sat down and played, and like had the freedom to just like learn how to use the controls and play the game and like everything like that. Because like growing up, we never had a TV, we didn't play video games, but I have friends who had video games. And they never let me play because it was just too frustrating for them to like they just wanted to play or play with somebody who already knew what they were doing. And I was like, you can't just hand me a controller. I don't know what the heck to do with it. I don't know what I don't know what I'm doing. So they just get frustrated and take it away. And I just grew up watching other people play video games. And I never had a chance to like just sit down and work it out for myself. So that's what Breath of the Wild was for me. Just sitting down and working it out for myself. And it's such a beautiful game. Like, look at that view.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so beautiful. It's got this great storyline, all these little side quest storyline, really interesting storylines you come across of all the other characters within the game who don't really have a main part, but they do have like their own story going on too. And if you want to be a part of that, you can. It's very interesting. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Oh yeah, like I said before, I think it's a perfect game for someone who's new. And I think part of that is just kind of like you were saying, it kind of was good for you to like sit there and work out with everything that's just how to play the game. I think it's perfect for that. And I'm not the one who had this idea. YouTuber by the name of Razbuten, Razbuten, who makes really good video essays about video games. He's talked about how it lets you play the game wrong, but be successful. Like,
yeah.
You don't have to do X thing, and it's the only real answer to get through the puzzle. You can do things however you want, as long as you reach the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least multiple ways, not just however you want, but it's by just giving you a physics engine and a lot of different ways to play with that through like the magnet, being able to stop time and being able to throw things and stuff like that. Like it just gives you a lot to work with. And
the different ways, you can like fight other things. There's like you can throw like those little bombs at them, and you can hand combat, like whatever you're comfortable with.
And climbing was such a huge thing with this game. Like, okay, you came to it as your first game, so fortunately, I guess, but also unfortunately, because now you're gonna have to go to other open world games if you want to play some of them. Climbing's not really a thing for most
like Pokemon
games.
I was frustrated in Pokemon because she couldn't climb. Luckily, Miraidon, like, that he can climb. But, like, she couldn't even, like, climb up a very simple, like, thing that was just over her head.
Yep.
Couldn't climb, couldn't jump. And I was like, really?
That's standard for gaming. Is like typically in a game you can jump, which I do think is something they kind of messed up with Pokemon. Like if you're going to make it an open world game, you need to be able to at least jump over minor obstacles. But they give you the jump fairly early, but then you got to hit the select button and hop on your mount, and then you can jump. Like my character, she has knees, like, she can jump.
Right.
But yeah, it's like you said, the open world in this, it's so well crafted that you can just pick a direction and you'll find something interesting to do. It might not be a quest, it might not be, something specific that you're like, you have to do to beat the game. What's really all you have to do to beat the game is go to the castle and fight Ganon.
Yeah.
But if you just pick a direction and start running, you're going to find a cool little area. You're going to find some puzzle you can do to get the little Korok seeds.
Yep.
Or you're going to find a shrine randomly.
Yep.
And they give you all of the tools to be able to do
treasure
it so well.
or something.
Yeah. And I do think while it gets annoying after a while, the Sheikah radar thing they do, the little bleeping you get, it does get annoying, but it is so useful.
I turned that off for the most part.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to turn it back on because I think I found all the shrines except for like the ones that are more hidden. So now I'm gonna have to turn it back on.
Yeah, unless you want to just cheat and like pull up a map online.
Yeah.
Do that, which kind of cheating, but yeah, it's
I like this game too because it was like really relaxing because you can like choose to just run around, collect things, make some food, build up your ammunition supply, like stuff like that, and it's pretty relaxing and easygoing. Or you can jump into like an adventure and you're fighting monsters. You can just choose whether to like fight the monsters or go around because I just don't feel like fighting monsters right now. It's just it can be very relaxing or adventurous, and you got to choose that. The game didn't like push you, one direction.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time I went to replay the game, I wanted to play on master mode, which is you can items or enemies and items don't drop hearts, or enemies don't drop hearts, so you have to like find items that will refill your heart meter, your life, or eat. You have to make food and eat and stuff like that. You also take double damage, and enemies take half damage.
Oh dang!
Yeah, so I wanted to play with that on my second playthrough because I've played almost all of the Zelda games, and so I figured I'd pick go on master mode. I've played a couple other ones on the same mode. It's pretty standard for most Zelda games since like. I want to say the DS is when they started doing it. Maybe the Game Boy or the Game Boy Advanced had the master mode. But first time I did that, and I was trying to get to the first tower to like unlock that portion of the map. And there's just like a couple of bokoblins there that have bows. And I wasn't really paying attention and just like running toward it like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. And I got one shot by an arrow from off screen because I wasn't really paying attention. And so, I had to actually like sneak and get around the bokoblin because I tried fighting him and my weapons were so weak and I was so weak that I couldn't kill him yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to sneak around him to unlock the first tower.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
To respond to Duck Dangerously here, yes, that is true. Breath of the Wild isn't a true Zelda game, I 100% agree, but it is a good game. It doesn't follow the traditional Zelda formula, and I will be getting to that, so don't worry. I will save your other comments on that for the next game wanted to discuss. Yeah, overall, I think it's just a very fun game, and it's the perfect introduction. And one thing I did want to mention was the button prompts. So it's very common for a game just to flash up whatever button they want you to hit, but it's just the button. Like, it'll just be a circle with like an X on it, and they want you to hit X. With this, it actually shows, I think I have my dusty old broken thing here. So it'll actually show you the entire button pad and which one of the 4 buttons they're wanting you to hit, which seems small, but it makes a huge difference for people who don't just intuitively know where X, Y, A, and B are.
Yep, absolutely. That was another thing. I didn't remember right now, but now you brought it up. Like, yes, the guides to help you through, like, how to do certain moves, and then the fact that I could go back in whatever menu it was and look up, like, oh wait, because like, what button do I press to jump, what button do I press to do this or that movement, and as you go along in the game you get to learn more and more different movements, and I can always go back and be like, what combination of buttons do I need to press to do this move or whatever, right? And I have a really bad memory. So I was constantly going back in there, and it was so easy for me to navigate. Like, it's one of the easiest games for me to navigate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and eventually it just becomes intuitive. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll just remember that, like, A is jump, X is to swing. Like, it all eventually becomes very intuitive. Anything else you wanted to add about Breath of the Wild?
No.
Okay. I will say voice acting in a Zelda game was weird, because that's typically not a thing. But for the most part, they did keep with the one very key component for voice acting in Zelda games, which is Link doesn't talk. And there are 0 Zelda games that are proper Zelda games where Link says something. He is silent the whole time. He is also most of the time left-handed, so I did think it was weird that in this he's right-handed. So, but I think it has to do with which buttons are block and which buttons are attack. It might have seemed a little bit off when they were playtesting. So, not sure. But I will move on to what I think another great game for noobs, and this is where I will address your other comments, Duck Dangerously. My favorite Zelda game, Link to the Past.
I want to play all of these. I want to get them all.
The Zelda series as a whole is very good for getting you into gaming and different styles of game, because you have the 2D, like top-down Zeldas like this, and then you also have the 3Ds, and they all follow a very similar formula, which Breath of the Wild does not follow, because it's open world. They want you to be able to just run around and do whatever you want, whereas these are more formulaic of you get the sword, you try to save the princess, you lose in trying to save the princess, she gets captured by the evil guy, you have to go collect like 3 gems in order to unlock the next area of the world, kind of thing, and you have to go into these very typically fairly intricate but not difficultly so dungeons, to where you get challenged by them, but they're definitely doable even without like a lot of video game knowledge. And I think that Link to the Past does this the best, on top of just having excellent pixel art for a game that came out 31 years ago. I think it came out in 92. It still to this day just looks good. So if you wanted to try a 2D Zelda, this is the one I suggest you go with.
Link to the Past?
Point this way. Yes, Link to the Past, which came out for Super Nintendo. You can play it on the Switch if you have the Switch Online stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the Super Nintendo package on there. Which I don't think you have to have like the crazy $50 one to play. I think it's covered under the $20 Nintendo Online Pass, whatever they call it. But yes, to mention your comments here, Duck Dangerously, Breath of the Wild is much different because item durability, stamina meters, it's really not a thing in any of the other Zelda games. If you get a sword, you have that sword. You're not having to pick up multiple ones constantly. You can upgrade the sword. You get the Master Sword, you got the Master Sword. And the small dungeons of like the shrines that you do, it's not like that in any of the other Zelda games. Like I talked about before, you really dive into these dungeons, and each one has its own style. They all look a little bit different. Some of them also get very interesting, like in Ocarina of Time, you literally go inside of a monster's like body.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a Jabba's. I think it's just called Jabba, but like you climb into his mouth and like you go through his stomach, and you don't go out the other side. At least you get coughed up
That's
eventually.
good.
Yeah, they are made for kids. But yeah, if you're interested in the Zelda series, I think this is a good way to go. So like for Zelda games, like what kind of things would you want to look for something to play that you might be interested in like digging into? So, from things you liked in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I don't know. Because now that you said they're like totally different, I'm like, okay, like I have some other games that I picked up.
Okay.
And y'all can tell me about them. Hold on, I have to get them out. Can't even read it now. Oh, I can't even read this. I'm like a little lady. I'm like little. I don't know what this one says. I can't read that. That's it. I'm blind. That's
Here, if you hold it up, I might be able to read it.
Zelda. No, that's Breath of the Wild. Megan, what are you doing? I can't.
Oh, a little bit lower. That is Skyward Sword.
Okay, so I have Skyward Sword.
One of the few Zelda games I have not played. Now, that one does have motion controls that I believe you don't have to use because they're kind of annoying. Like, you have to physically hold the controller up if you want to use, like, the spin move. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't played it myself, so I can't attest to that. But, yeah, that one... I have heard the remake is good. It is known for having one of the most annoying sidekicks in Zelda games, of Fi, which is, like, what is widely considered the most popular Zelda game, Ocarina of Time. You have Navi, this little fairy that follows you around and like helps give you tips and stuff like that. But Navi constantly says, "Hey, listen," like over and over again, and it gets annoying. But it's a great game. I do suggest if you get the chance to play Ocarina of Time as well. I mean, it's the first 3D Zelda game.
Okay. No, I have it on my list. And then I have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Completely different.
Okay.
I
didn't know when I was picking these things up. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You might enjoy Hyrule Warriors. I'm trying to remember. Someone in chat tell us what the game series is that it's based off of. I played a couple of them years ago with some friends of mine, but I never got super deep into them. Oh, Dynasty Warriors, that's it. That's a Zelda version of another game called Dynasty Warriors, where basically it's you versus like 1,000 people, and you are so much stronger than them that it winds up being you coming up. You're basically button smashing or using different combos to like take out 50 people at once.
Okay.
It can be a lot of fun.
That dangerously says Megan would like Wind Waker?
Yes, Wind Waker. I love Wind Waker. It is one of my favorite Zelda games. I don't know if it's available on the Switch. That came out for GameCube.
I have a PS4. I have a PS4 and a Switch, and that's what I have.
Okay, yeah, I'm not 100% if you can get Wind Waker on Switch. Let's see.
I want to get a PC soon, guys, but
Well, it's also not a thing on PC. Nintendo's kind of
right.
Nintendo sticks to Nintendo stuff.
Whatever, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I want to start doing some PC games too.
I do have a few PC games here to pull up. So let's see. I did pull up an image here of. There we go. That's what Wind Waker looks like. A lot of people don't like the cell shading style of it. I normally don't like that style of art for games, but Wind Waker does it well.
Okay.
It's an island hopping Zelda game. So rather than like exploring through the world or moving from biome to biome, you hop on this ship, which talks. And you ride from island to island, and you can pick up treasure along the way and fight the Octoroks, which are like giant squid in this that make like a cyclone in the water that you actually get trapped in, and you have to shoot them with a cannon. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Zelda probably coming since Metroid Prime Remastered dropped a few days ago. Okay. They are called Muso games. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Muso?
Muso. I don't know. Miso? Miso soup?
You don't have an I.
Close enough. We're American.
So.
We don't have to pronounce things right. You're an American now, Megan. You don't have to pronounce things right, and you get to be arrogant about it.
Oh my!
That's how it works here.
I'm not an American yet. I am going to start working on getting my citizenship, though.
Yep, study up for it. That is not an easy test.
Yeah, I should be. I mean, I will study, obviously, but yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. My stepmother went through the process of becoming an American citizen, and it is a process. They make you. They really want you to prove that you want to do it, and their way of doing that is by giving you a difficult multiple choice and like written test. There's like an essay she had to write for it, so it's a thing. Now, according to her, she's very glad she did it. You know, she'd much rather be in America with her family than in Peru. So, let's see. Megan just keeps adding "you" to so many words.
It's true. I still do that. Like color.
It's close enough.
The kids I work with are like, "You spelled it wrong." I'm like, "Shush, just shut up."
I'm bringing you culture. That's what it is. See, and you do have it right because you're telling them to shush. That means you're one step closer to being an American because you spell it wrong in America and you get to be arrogant about it. That's how you do it right.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I'd say the Zelda series as a whole, great for getting into gaming. It's because they're designed as kids games, but they have a good level of depth to them where even as an adult playing them, they're still very enjoyable. Like, I didn't really dive into the Zelda games until I was like 20. So I was already an adult who had played more difficult games.
Yeah.
And even then, I loved running through most of the series. There's a handful I haven't played yet. But all the ones I have played, great. Enjoyed the heck out of them. And I think it would be good for... It's good for actually learning just how different game systems work. Of like, how to recognize when they're putting a puzzle in front of you in order to get a little bit of extra gear. How to look for things like secret doors that you can blow up. Things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
How dare you? I'm not saying that, Duck Dangerously. No, I refused. I refuse. Nuclear. Look at how it's spelled.
Yeah.
I don't care who says it's pronounced nuclear. Why do they spell it like that then? And don't give me that other English words. Don't be like, oh, well, Worcestershire. You know?
Oh, that's such a dumb word. Does anybody actually know how to say that word?
Worcestershire?
I don't think that's Worcestershire. I don't know.
Worcestershire.
Okay.
I'm like 98% positive on this, but as an American, you can pronounce it however you want.
Wow.
And if someone tries to tell you you're wrong, just be like, no. You get to be like, you're a stupid duty head. I'm pronouncing it right. That's how it works.
Worcestershire. There, that's right, Paul. I think that's what I meant. Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce.
It's Worcestershire. See,
Worcestershire. Like hobbits in the Shire. Worcestershire.
All right, where's your Bommy left? I need the Englishman here to back me up on this. Your Bommy's gone.
He left. He's out.
He left. He's out playing Warhammer 3, which I think is a video game. I'm not sure. Yeah. See, War Sister. That's it. Yes. Canadians say sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm real sorry about that, bud. Here, let's go on down to Tim Hortons. I'll get you a donut.
Yeah, some Timmy's.
So you just call it Timmy's?
Yeah, it's called Timmy's. Going to
Okay.
Timmy's.
Going to Timmy's. So you have played Pokemon, which is widely regarded as like essentially baby's first JRPG, and I'm not trying to disparage it. I love the Pokemon games. I love them. I still play them. Like, I still play some of the older ones. But I was gonna, share this. If you're interested in other JRPGs, this would be a good one to try out. It's Chrono Trigger.
I've heard of this. Intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing all these things down. I'm not playing on my phone. I'm writing these things down.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. It's a fun JRPG. Not too difficult to pick up and learn. It is a little bit math the game. Kind of like how Pokemon, you've got to learn which moves are going to be strong against which enemies and all of that. It's a little bit more in depth than Pokemon because you're not going to automatically see what their types are, and you kind of have to try and pick out which moves are going to be strong against which enemies. But fun game overall. Involves time travel. So you get to see a lot of different styles of the world, like all the way from prehistoric to like a post-apocalyptic dystopian future. So very, very interesting and fun game. Depending on how deep you get into it and like how much time you want to spend on it, it can be beat in like 15 to 20 hours. So not the longest of games to play. Not like Pokemon, which, could take like up to 100 hours to beat, depending on your knowledge of the game. I should ask, like, what other styles of games are you interested in?
I don't know. I mean, I've played... All else I've played is, like, racing games, like Crash Team Racing and Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, and then Super Mario. What was that? Super Mario Brothers Deluxe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which I don't mind. Although I kind of find it frustrating sometimes because I'm really bad at it.
Well, there is this suggestion I have to take it back in time a little bit when the games were slightly simpler. This is Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. I still love this game. And for platforming, it's a very good game to learn on. It's and actually the movement system is so well made in this game that people still make fan versions of the levels, like mostly super difficult fan versions of the levels, which they refer to as Kaizo games. Do not try to play a Kaizo game. That will make you hate gaming forever. You will not get out of the first screen. It's I'm just warning you. It's that they're designed to be the most difficult, but the movement system is so well designed in this that people still use it to make challenging video games for other people to play. Plus, you get to ride on a cute dinosaur. You get a Yoshi to ride on. You shoot fireballs. There is also the cape, which is widely regarded as the most broken item in all of Mario games because it lets you fly. And you can literally just fly over the levels. Some of them. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. Megan needs to play TMNT and only do the underwater levels. No. Don't do that. I'll say the music in the underwater level for TMNT is banging. The level is awful.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Yep, would love to see you play a TMNT game for sure. Most of them are just kind of like an older arcade-style beat-em-up games. They can be fun, though. They did recently come out with what they call the Cowabungas pack, something like that. I haven't played it yet. I know other people who've played it. I don't know. I'd say look at them first and see if it's something you're interested in before diving into. Because it's very like you're just moving right across the screen and beating up enemies, and the controls aren't going to be as intuitive as you're used to from the more modern games
Right. Yeah.
that you've been playing. Let's see. Oh, yes, you look like a Battletoad gamer as well. Battletoads is basically off-brand
Okay.
Ninja Turtles, and very
Oh.
difficult. It's a very difficult game. Let's see. Oh, well, you did already mention this one, Skyrim.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played it yet.
I think Skyrim might be a good transition for you because you've played, other open world games with Breath of the Wild. Skyrim, in a sense, can be very similar. That you can just like pick a direction and walk, and you'll run into something. A bit more difficult, bit more intricate than than Breath of the Wild is, but still very good game. If you want to put it on easy mode, pick up a bow. It is the most broken weapon in the game. It really is. There's even a meme of like people saying, "I'm going to start out making a spellcaster," and then within 10 hours they're a stealth archer because it's the best build in the game for just being able to one-shot wreck things.
Nice.
Plus, you're dealing with dragons, and like they're in the air.
That world looks fun to explore too. Skyrim.
It is. It's very well designed, very beautiful to look at, even to this day. Now, I believe this is the HD version. This isn't the original version we're seeing here. But I think that might be a good one for you to transition to. It's not too intricate with how you have to play your character or build it. It's just kind of a go, do things, level up, pick an ability, get a little bit stronger as you play kind of game. I have a couple other suggestions here, but...
Well, okay, here's one that I have that someone gave me. Final Fantasy 11, I think. 12.
Oh, here, let me do this so I can actually see. Oh, it's not focusing. Let's... Final Fantasy... Is that 12 or is that just a 2? Is it II?
It looks like II.
Oh, that's Final Fantasy 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which, okay, that is another old school JRPG. I'd say since you already own that, if you don't have the Nintendo Online, Final Fantasy 2 is another good JRPG to play instead of Chrono Trigger. Trying to remember exactly which one 2 is. Oh, yeah, that's the one that was in Japan. It's Final Fantasy 4. In America, it's Final Fantasy 2. Yeah, that's a fun game. Not too difficult. Yeah,
it is Zodiac Age, Duck Dangerously.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it says, Zodiac Age.
I am not familiar with that game. Zodiac. Final Fantasy Zodiac Age.
Yeah, no. It was just given to me, so like,
Okay, yeah. I could not tell you about that one. I haven't played it. I played the original Final Fantasy 12 when it came out on PlayStation 2. But I honestly don't remember much about that game. Yep, it's 12. I mean, you have it. Give it a try. You might like it. Yeah, it's...
I mean, I didn't buy it, so whatever.
Yeah, free games.
Oh, I did buy Luigi's Haunted Mansion 3.
Play that.
Because it was cheap. Okay, I got confused. I went into story mode, and then when the lady at night, she comes out of the elevator, she sends that little ghost dude after you, and I die. And I was like, I don't understand how to beat him. I don't understand where to go from here. I don't know what's happening. And then I just stopped playing it. So
Okay.
someone wants to clue me in, that'd be cool.
I haven't played that game specifically. I've played the Luigi's Mansion for 3DS, and
Okay.
I loved it. That game was it was just tons of fun. It might be one of those things of, and this is just kind of a thing with gaming, like you were talking about before, like your friends when you were growing up would take the controller from you and like they would play it because you were doing things wrong. Unlike with Breath of the Wild, most games, it's a trial and error in that you're going to just fail until you figure out what you need to do. That's kind of how most games work. So, yeah, you kind of start at the beginning, you might get killed. It could literally sometimes be just press buttons until you see what you can do and what can happen when you do certain things. That's sometimes just how games work. And I know it seems tedious and annoying, but as you learn to do that, it becomes like a challenge of how to figure out the right answer to the puzzle. And over time, it becomes a bit more secondary nature. To bring up Rasputin again, he refers to it as the language of video games. And that over time, you learn that certain concepts just flow throughout gaming, like if things are purple, that's usually bad. It usually means they're corrupted or toxic or something like that. And that's pretty much standard for most games. Like purple generally, like if it's a big purple blob, it's going to be bad. But I have heard a lot of really good things about, what is it, Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch?
Yeah.
I did hear it was a very good game. So I'd give it a try. You know what? That is a good suggestion.
Damacy reroll.
Yes.
Okami HD.
So the Katamari Damacy games, I think it's Damacy is how everyone pronounced it. I've only played it like once or twice growing up. I had an ex in high school who played the games, and it's you are rolling a ball and picking up more things and making the ball bigger and bigger until like eventually you can literally like roll up planets in the ball. It's super satisfying. And you're literally saving the universe while you do it. That's
weird.
Like, that's the story to it. Is you're the son of the king of the universe, and you're saving the universe by rolling things into a ball to make them bigger and bigger so you can pick up bigger things. Let's see if I can find a good image example.
That's so weird.
Katamari Damacy. It's it is a very Japanesey game, but a lot of fun. It's Japanesey. Let's see. Let me share and yeah. So that's.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so like this cow here, he would be eventually rolling up the cow. You can add that to the ball. The trees, you'll pick those up, and then once it gets big enough, you're going to be picking up the buildings. That's
so weird.
It is weird.
And that's all you do.
It is oddly satisfying. I don't know how to describe it. You just have to like. It's not that fun to watch either. Like seeing somebody else do it, not interesting at all. But doing it yourself, so satisfying.
Oh my gosh.
You can even like pick up the rainbow. And some of them, yeah, like you get the ball big enough, you pick up the rainbow.
Wow.
So yeah, that would be a good one to just play. It's more of a passive game of you're just sitting there kind of rolling the ball. Right? There are objectives you have to do, but it's not like a super difficult challenge. I'm trying to think of. Let's see. I have a couple here we could throw up. So for getting better at like button timing and like reactions and stuff, I think the best bet is to just go old school. Some Atari arcade games. Best way to go. This is my favorite, Centipede. Loved this game growing up. I have put so many quarters into one of these machines. And you can get them for fairly cheap now. I think they recently came out with the Atari Collection. I don't think it's that expensive. But, if you're trying to save up for a gaming PC, you might have to pick and choose certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. You're wanting to get a PC. So let's think of PC games. That would be good. You know what? I'm going to pull up my Steam list here.
Steam list?
Yeah, Steam. You're familiar with Steam, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I haven't really gone on there and looked, but, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to have a PC for it to be useful. I thought about including Witcher 3 on the list, because you do have, the sword and story mode where things aren't super difficult. But I guess it might just
I think I have that one for PS4. I just haven't, yeah.
It's one of those things at a certain point in time, if you're not on the harder difficulties, it's going to get kind of easy. Around the 40-hour mark, I found my first playthrough, it got just kind of a bit tedious because everything is quick attack, dodge, quick attack, dodge. Whereas on the harder difficulties, you actually have to learn how to parry and time your attacks to do more damage and use certain potions and the like for it to be a bit more of a challenge. It's also kind of a long game. If you have all the DLC for it, it's almost a 200-hour game. Yeah. Yeah, it is quite long. So what are the other games you've played?
Just Mario Kart, Mario Party. Yeah, like I said, Crash Team Racing, Donkey Kong, Country, Tropical, and Freeze.
That's a good game. That is a difficult game, but it is a good game.
I haven't played in a really long time. Really long. Since I first got it. It's just sitting here.
I loved Tropical Freeze. I really want them to make another Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Country, I should say. They haven't made one. That was the last one they made, and that came out on the Wii.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't played Wii games since the last clinic I worked at. We had a Wii. We played with the kids. Huh.
Yeah, Wii was a solid system. In fact, one of my other favorite Zelda games came out on the Wii, Twilight Princess.
Okay.
Yeah, which the new Breath of the Wild seems to be taking a lot from. It seems like they're going to take a lot of the themes from Twilight Princess and put it into a new Zelda. I don't think
calling that new Zelda. What are they actually calling it?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. And it's not Breath of the Wild 2 Tears of the Kingdom, because that would be way too much of a mouthful. I think it's just Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is what they're calling it. Looks good. Have you seen the trailer for it?
No.
Well, you know what?
Let's watch it. Let's
do a live reaction here, and that could be a good way to end out this show, is with a live reaction to Tears of the Kingdom. I actually thought about doing a breakdown for it.
Ooh.
Because there's a lot of little things I noticed in there. All right. Share this tab. Full screen. Oh, hey, actually put it up here. Wrong one. There we go. And I'm going to kill the background music. There we go. All right, so here's the new trailer for Tears of the Kingdom. I think we're going to have to pause it semi-regularly because Nintendo is known for copyright striking people.
Me.
Yeah. Even though we're promoting their stuff.
Right? That's literally what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Let's see. All right.
Ooh.
It looks very good.
Yeah, it does. Already, I love it.
I think that's a little loud. Let's turn that down just a bit. There we go. One thing I think that first Breath of the Wild got right as well, that this one does, is the
floating
atmosphere.
islands.
Yes. So the floating islands are a callback to Skyward Sword, because that's kind of
Okay.
how that game is played, is you're hopping from floating island to floating island with
Gotcha.
like the main kingdom underneath. So they're kind of combining different games from the past in this one. Here, I'm going to roll this back just a little bit. Nope, wrong button. Yeah, like just that image right there. They got the atmosphere so good in the first game, and it looks like that's going to continue to this one. Although rain was super annoying in Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah. I hate when it
For,
rains in there.
right? Like if you get stuck on a big cliff and it starts raining, I've literally set the controller down and gone and like used the bathroom and made a sandwich. Because I know I'm stuck here for like 10 minutes or
Yep.
it's pick a new direction. So this, like you can see kind of this root in the background here.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be underneath the Deku tree. I think. Maybe. Because that's traditionally one of the common dungeons you see in the Zelda games is the Deku tree itself is a dungeon.
Oh.
Rise, rise, my servants.
Okay, this right here. Big 3-headed dragon.
What?
Yes. Yes. Actually, I didn't notice the 3 heads until now, but dragons, quite a few of the Zelda games have a dragon enemy. Twilight Princess actually has an excellent dragon fight where you're using a grappling hook to like shoot back and forth between pillars while you're fighting this dragon. Oh yeah. You also get a Beyblade that you surf on.
No.
In Twilight Princess, yes, it's
Oh my
awesome.
goodness.
I hope they give you the Beyblade in this one because, as we'll see later on, they're taking a lot from Twilight Princess in this. I want that Beyblade back. That was one of my favorite items.
Sweep over Hyrule. Eliminate this kingdom and her allies. Leave no survivors.
Oh. What?
So there we got like a quick view. Let's see if I can. No. It's really quick, but we can see like you get some of the bigger enemies here. So new enemies in the game. Also, I just think the aesthetic is still just working very well for it, making it look super interesting. A lot of fun to play, I think. Also, you're not really familiar with Ganondorf is like the classic bad guy for the Zelda games. That may actually be, I don't know, we'll see how they tackle it because it's just kind of understood in most Zelda games that like Ganondorf is going to be the bad guy and he's essentially the living avatar of Ganon, who you fought in the first game.
Yeah.
At the end. Ganondorf is basically he's one of the Gerudo, the tall orange people. He's one of them, except he's basically the human version of the Demon King Ganon. Okay, that Hinox following behind you gave me some serious Raiders of the Lost Ark vibes.
Yes, like the stone.
Yes. Okay, that thing looks cool. That big... Oh, that was a good spot to stop. So this is basically Mummy version of Ganon. He's
gross.
Yeah. And looks like he's coming back to life. You know, got some sort of dark energy here, bringing him back to life.
Hi, Optic Racer.
Hey, Optic Racer, how's it going? What machines you have? I don't know what you mean. Footage looks cool. Yes, yes, it do. Oh, wrong button. There we go.
But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him.
I want to know what like this pattern is down here. There's like some
interesting.
some crop circle thing here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, video game machines, Optic
Video game
Racer.
machines. Okay. You just have the PS4 and the Switch.
Yeah, PS4 and a Switch. I haven't hooked my PS4 up to this computer because I don't know if I can handle it.
Probably not. It's
Probably not.
so my PS3 sounds like a dying wildebeest when I turn it on. Has the PS4 gotten there? Because I hear it does the same thing.
Not so far.
Okay.
It's a newer one though. It's only like a year or two old.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Okay, that was cool. Like the arrow actually, it was like a homing arrow that went after that thing. Let's see.
Ooh, that was cool.
So yeah, it looks like Link's getting some sort of power glove
Right?
going on here.
Interesting.
I mean, it's in like 40 seconds, so I won't spoil it, and I'll just wait. There's a thing that I think has to do with why he has the power glove.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah, you get a tank.
Does the power glove drive the tank?
I imagine so. It has like this blue energy here,
Right.
which, most of the interactable stuff.
Getting into like more machines type stuff here.
Yeah. It seems like they're going to go with the classic video game sequel trope of it's the same game but more, which generally is a good way to do it.
Hey, why not? I mean, it looks fun.
Mhm.
Ooh,
You get a balloon?
balloon?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Flying machine.
Dang.
Also, you see like this brick thing
Yeah.
falling here. Okay, so I'm going to back it up just a little bit and I'll let it play, but like listen for the noises as the title comes in.
Please, lend him your power.
So you can see right there, like Link's hand is all shriveled. That's. I think that my theory is he's going to touch Ganon, and part of the Triforce that is inside of Link is going to get transferred to Ganon, and it's going to cause his arm to shrivel, and so he gets the power glove to fix that. But those noises you heard, like as the title was coming up, that weird sort of backwards talking thing. Those are the sounds from the Twilight world from Twilight Princess.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, what is that? March 12th? May, April, May.
Yeah, May 12th.
May 12th.
Ooh.
Yeah, not too far away. I think. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else in here at the end. Nope, that's it.
That looks pretty awesome.
Oop.
I think.
I'm going to be
really exciting.
Yes. I'll be pre-ordering it for sure. It just sucks that they're making you wait for Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I will
yeah.
say, I mean, not to rub it in or anything, but I have been enjoying it so far.
Thanks. Good for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Super happy.
I mean, so you didn't grow up with like the Harry Potter books or anything? Is it something you got into
I
later?
did. Like I wasn't allowed
Okay.
to read them, but I sneaky read them at school. So you get it from my school.
Oh.
Like high school is when I read them.
Ah.
Yeah.
That almost gives you like an extra layer to it though, to where like you had to sneak behind, and that almost gives it more pertinence, I would say.
Yeah.
That makes you were a secret fan.
I was a secret fan.
Yeah. Okay,
Actually,
well,
and then I did buy the whole series of books, and I actually hid them under my bed.
nice. Nice. The rest of us are hiding like Victoria's Secret catalogs and
I'm
dirty
hiding Harry
magazines.
Potter.
And Harry Potter. Nice.
Yeah.
They're great books. Like
They are. It is interesting though how they kind of like they grow with you. Like when you go back and read them, especially as an adult, I was like, oh, these first couple books are very like young.
Mhm.
But it grows as the characters grow, and as her fan base grew up, the books grew with them. So
Mhm.
same as the movies actually too.
Yeah. Yeah, they become more and more mature because by the time you get to like the fourth movie, you're dealing with, or the fourth book as well, you're dealing with death
Mm-hmm.
and, get into some more serious topics. Yes, hiding the Sears winter catalog under my bed. I will neither confirm nor deny Duck Dangerously. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they were talking about who has what. PC, Switch, PS5, and Series X. Damn, you are jacked in to the gaming verse there, Duck Dangerously. Nice. I just have PC, Switch. I have a PS3, but I really don't play it. I feel like so I know you're wanting to get the PC. If you get into PC games, like it's hard to go to other systems other than like things like the Switch being super convenient and having specific games for it. Also, Nintendo's really good with their mainline series of games. I'd say just about any mainline Nintendo's game would be good for you to play. Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda games, any of those. Heck, even throw in some of the Castlevanias. Those are a lot of fun. If you want something with like a little bit of a horror vibe to it, but aren't scary games, you're fighting like
Castlevania would be fun.
Oh yeah, I quite like the Castlevania game.
Pardon.
That was an interjectory hiccup.
Sorry. So sorry.
All good. Technically, Duck Dangerously has 4 PCs, only 2 hooked up right now.
It's a lot of technology.
Okay, well, technically, I have 4 PCs, but I have a dead laptop, dead PC, and then I have 2 PCs that are hooked up. And one of them is a cheap, crappy $200 refurbished one because once I got used to having a PC hooked to my TV, I couldn't go back. Like being able to use a mouse and keyboard, even if I'm just watching Netflix and YouTube on there, it's way too convenient. And a laptop for music stuff. Yeah, I killed my laptop. Don't stream games from your laptop. You will kill it.
When I was looking at PCs and stuff, I was looking at gaming laptops and I was just like, no, not worth it. Like after 3 to 4 years, it's no good anymore and you can't upgrade it. So
you can, but it's really not suggested unless you know what you're doing.
And I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not gonna do
that.
Way easier to just upgrade like the actual like a computer, a desktop.
Oh yeah,
not a laptop.
Yeah, desktops for the most part are plug and play. Like it's okay, this fits into the slot here and makes a nice little satisfying click noise, and then turn on the computer, download a couple of drivers, and bam, I have more RAM. Graphics card.
Yep.
So much easier to deal with. Phil says, one day I'll have a gaming PC, but I'm too broke being a college student to afford it. That is legit. Got to have your priorities. But Phil does have a Switch, and might see you later tonight if I'm still awake for some Mario Kart. If you're ever able to make it to the Mario Kart games, I mean, Ords has a pretty much open door policy for that. So if you want to do some online Mario Kart, I mean, he usually doesn't go until like midnight my time.
I'm usually sleeping.
Yeah,
I'm a granny. I go to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's no,
Such a
he doesn't
granny.
start that early. That's I. Yeah, no, he's definitely. I don't think he's ever started at like 9 or 10 o'clock. He's tried, and it didn't work out. But
When I
if
go
you
to
ever
bed
have,
at 11, I'm like, oh, it's so late. Oh my God. I'm like super grumpy about it.
oh yeah, got to have the 12 hours of sleep.
I need that. I need my beauty sleep. Okay.
Yes, it's okay. We as men will accept not sleeping as much. So
I think men just don't need as much, to be honest.
we don't.
Women are too emotional and hormonal, and if we don't get enough sleep, we're just bitche, whatever. We're bitches.
You can say it. You don't have to spell it. It's all good. I actually looked up a study on that one time when I was taking a psychology class about because I was interested in the whole like women sleeping more than men thing and what the outcome is, and it's basically like how it works out is men are able to get more done in short spurts. And so we're able to sleep less because we'll like hyper focus on something for like 3 to 4 hours and get a lot of work done. Whereas women on average tend to actually get more work done than men. Like if you put a man and a woman on the same task, the woman will actually be able to accomplish more than the man. But the woman that's because she'll be able to keep going for like 8 hours. Like typically it wasn't quite double the amount of time, but it was like 30%, 30 to 40% more time that a woman was able to spend on it. And typically women actually were, I mean, not quite as efficient as men, but they would have less mistakes because taking more time, being more precise, and being able to work at a single task for longer. Whereas dude's going to burn out after 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. But yeah, anything you wanted to add to the gaming as a noob topic?
No, that was it. I got a good list going.
Yeah. I will definitely say, since it is available on Switch, Breath of the Wild is or not Breath of the Wild, Link to the Past.
Okay.
That I would put that at the top for me personally.
I think it actually is because that's like the first one we.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's what I would personally put at the top of the list because the Zelda games are intended for a younger or newer audience, and they're just good, fun games. And you get to accomplish little things throughout the games as working toward bigger goals, which part of the fun of gaming is, meet the challenge, beat the challenge, feel accomplished, get a nice little thing to go with it.
Yep, totally.
And those games perfectly encapsulate that formula. But yeah, this has been a good chat about games.
Very much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it here, everybody. So, Duck Dangerously, Robert, Phil, Optic Racer, trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Paul was in here. Small Time. Thank you, everybody, for showing up and chatting with us. And I will try to not boomer the outro. All right. Bye, everyone.
See y'all.
No. He's looking at you, kid.
Goodbye, Boo.
Kitty.
Kitty has to go.
I'll see you. Not if I see you first.
Hello.
Grandpa? Maybe you could come over and read it again to me tomorrow.
As you wish.